This year's garlic harvest is looking fantastic. When you pull giant sized garlic like this out of the ground, you know you're doing something right. Check at that. Hey guys, Sean from Livingseeds, your seed guru. Today we're talking about harvesting garlic. This is a wonderful example of Eastern porcelain. Eastern porcelain is one of our earliest garlic crop varieties. And what I'm doing right now is I'm standing in the conjunction of 4 different planting blocks. So I've got Eastern porcelain over here, I've got Costain's red Russian over here on my left hand side. This is Persian star, and at the back over here we have pink elephant toes. So the cool thing is you can see 4 different kinds of garlic, and you can see that each garlic variety is at a different stage of harvest. So I've just pulled this Eastern porcelain now, and just by feeling the Eastern porcelain pull on the roots, if you look at this crop over here, most of the plant has actually died down. So the bottom half of the plant has died down. I reckon we still need to have this leaf die down completely, which is going to take about another week. If you look at one of the other crops like Costain's right next to Eastern porcelain, you can see that Costain's is still vibrant green. It's only just started to die back on the lower leaves, and this is going to be quite a late variety. So the rule of thumb is that you need to have 50%, and let me just pull one of these. Let me find a nice example over here. So the rule of thumb is that you want to have, let me drop this one so it doesn't interfere. So the rule of thumb is you want 50% of the leaves on this garlic plant to be dry. So this leaf over here still needs to dry down. You can see there was one leaf over here, there's one leaf here, one leaf here. Here's a leaf that I've just broken now. When this leaf dies down, and you can see that this leaf is starting to die down. So when this leaf dies down, or both of these leaves die down, it'll be in the next week or so, this garlic will be ready to lift. And you saw me pull the garlic out of the ground, and I'm going to show you that in a little bit more detail shortly. This over here is Persian star, and as you can see, most of the plant is still green. And what we are seeing, especially on Facebook, is people are harvesting garlic, and they're harvesting garlic where the entire stem is actually green. Today's date is the 23rd of October. We have harvested our first garlic variety, which is Tuscan. The other garlic varieties, as you can see over here, this is pink elephant toes. It's starting to die back. This over here, Persian star, still got a long way to go. And the easiest way I test when I test garlic to lift, what I do is I grab a garlic plant and I just pull up. And I can put a fair amount of pressure on that plant, and the plant is not giving. So I know just by looking at it that it's nowhere near to harvest. But when I'm looking at a crop that I'm thinking is it time to harvest, I'm looking for something called root shear. And root shear, I will show you what almost root shear now. It's not quite there. So we're standing on a block, well, this is part of a block of Spanish white. So the 3 earliest garlics we have is Tuscan. Spanish white is the next earliest garlic variety, and then the next earliest garlic variety was Eastern porcelain, which I showed you now. So root shear, and I want you to watch carefully. You can see that this plant, 50% of the plant is dry, and if you look over the crop over here, generally 50% of the crop is dry, and that's an indicator. But the final indicator that I use when I'm looking to harvest a crop is for root shear. And if you have a look over here, I'm actually just going to pull it from these top 2 leaves. Whoops. And you can see it just comes out so much easier. So I was a little bit ambitious with my 2 top leaves. But if you look at that garlic came out, and literally it comes out so easily. There's no effort required in lifting the garlic. And what that means is that this garlic has got to maturity. Now is the time to harvest it. And it's just a very simple pull and the garlic comes out. You don't have to apply any pressure. If you have to, I mean, just look at this awesome garlic. This is the garlic that you guys are buying this year. Absolutely fantastic. So if you have to apply pressure to lift the garlic plant out, if you've got to dig it out with a fork, your garlic is not ready to harvest. Guys, if you're looking to harvest absolutely fantastic garlic, if you want garlic that's going to store for you for the next 6 or 8 months, it has to be mature inside the field. If you are harvesting a garlic crop and you want to use that garlic crop to plant a new garlic crop next year, it's got to be mature in the field. If you're lifting the garlic crop too early, what's going to happen is that the garlic won't store. It's not going to make good planting garlic, and you're just wasting all of the effort that you've put into this garlic. So we're looking at Persian Star over here. Persian Star was planted on the 27th of February, and you can see it's nowhere near ready to harvest. We're still at least a full month, if not 6 weeks, away from harvesting this garlic. The Tuscan garlic was planted on the 6th of March. So the Tuscan was planted 11 days later than the Persian Star. The Tuscan is already out. And what I want you to understand is that this is the reason why you have different types of garlic. Not just for the flavors, because the flavors are completely different. And they're absolutely fantastic. But what you can do is you can stagger a harvest of garlic and ensure that you don't have this massive garlic input all at once. You can actually harvest your garlic over a period of 3 or 4 months, which makes planting multiple types of garlic an absolute pleasure. One of the things that I want to talk about right now, because this period, it's the 23rd of October, there's been a couple of really hot days, and it's day length and soil temperature that really affects the bulb size that you're going to be getting out of your garlic. So what we do on Livingseeds Farm, and I'm going to show you right now, if you look over here, here's cardboard. So what we do is we put down 2 layers of cardboard inside the path, and then we pack mushroom compost or some kind of mulch on top of this cardboard. What the cardboard does is the cardboard makes sure that there's no weed growth coming through the path, which means I don't need to put a team of staff members down the path to actually weed the path, because the weeds are taking water and nutrients away from the garlic. And then what we do is we put a nice mulch down on top of the garlic bed as well. And this is to ensure that there's moisture retention inside the soil, that there's less weed pressure inside the soil. And what this mulch does is it keeps the soil cool. And keeping the soil cool is what makes sure that you get those nice big garlic cloves, or garlic heads, sorry, let me put that in the right way. Check at the size of this garlic.